So it has taken me a while to make this video. Joseph and me are leaving Spelkollektivet, and we've been here for almost 2 years, so this is gonna be a big change in our lives. For over 2 months I've had the idea to make this video about what this place even is, because it might be the place that you need like, right now, and I want to tell you about it. What the hell? In a nutshell, Spelkollektivet is a co-living and co-working place in Sweden, or better, the Swedish countryside. It is 2.5 hours away from Copenhagen airport and easily reachable by train. When we came here in October 2017, the house was in a different location. But since September 2018, it is located here in Väckelsång and it has space for up to 50 people. We are around 30 people right now. So why did Joseph and me almost spend 2 years at this place? First, the money. Hands down, if you live in any bigger European city, rent is probably what your money goes to most of the time. Rent at Spelkollektivet changes depending on like how long you stay and like when you come here, but usually I would say it is around 400 euros a month, and this is fairly competitive with like I would say most European cities. But now comes the best part. Everything that you need is included in the rent. What do I mean by that? By everything, I mean everything. You get breakfast in the morning, you get 2 warm meals a day, like somebody cooks food for you. You don't have to spend time cooking, you don't have to spend time shopping, you just have to show up and eat, and it's included in the 400 euro rent. You even get internet, electricity, water. They even buy the toilet paper and the shower gel for you. You can also still buy your own stuff here. You can buy breakfast stuff, you can buy things to cook and cook your own meal. There is a supermarket, but if you wanted to, you can just live here for 400 euros, not pay anything else. Number 2, and like I only have number 1, which is the money because it's so cheap, and number 2. So number 2 is the game devs. I'm gonna make this one really short, but there's just a lot of cool people in the house. Like, I've been here for 2 years. I've seen a lot of people come and go, but there's always been cool people, so you're gonna meet other game devs and be surrounded by cool people. Come here. So now you are probably wondering, Simone, what does this magical place of wonder look like? And to that I say, let's do a house tour. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do the house tour now. I filmed this 2 months ago. Okay, so this is the outside of the house. And this is the room that you see when you first arrive. Right now it's a bit messy, because we just ordered new furniture. But then to the left. So this is the eating room, without food and without people. And recently it's been getting warmer, so and it's super warm and it's very nice. So hi, this is Simone from the future. Back when I filmed this, we didn't have this place, so now even more people can sit outside. Hooray! But it looks like shit now because it's raining, but believe me, it's super cool and nice when there's sun. So from the eating area to the dishwasher. No, I'm kidding. This is the kitchen, the homie's kitchen. This is our beautiful fridge. And this is mainly where we can just cook breakfast. If you want to cook. Because if you don't, then this is the professional kitchen where they cook the good food. But I'm not allowed in there. Yes. was only slightly creepy. What else? Oh yeah, the warmest room in the house. Which looks like this at the moment, but it doesn't usually look like this. So this is the infamous pea waterfall, which you already know if you've seen any of the videos that I recorded in here. And this is where we have all of the board games. And yeah, this is also the room where we mostly hang out in the evening and just play and drink. Mostly drink, really. So all of the board games are from the house. I think some are from the homies, but mostly it's from the house. Oh yeah, there's also, now that I'm seeing this, there's D&D sessions every couple of weeks, but it depends on who's in the house at the moment. So right now there's a lot of people that like to play D&D, so there's a lot of D&D going on, but like we had phases where there was no D&D players, so yeah, no D&D. Makes sense! Let us continue. Hello! Alright, hallway number 1 with renovations. So this is the renovated area of the house. It has, I don't know how many rooms, but in all of these doors there's rooms for the homies. And this is the area that is getting renovated. So this will be like a just sitting, chilling, reading area. And yeah, this is the renovation where there's more homie rooms being made. I actually haven't seen these. Sponsored by IKEA. What?
Let's finish the bed.
Yeah. But I have it on video that it's not finished. So should I come later when it's finished? And then film again? Okay. Okay. No, I'm not gonna finish it. I have important YouTube work to do. I don't have important YouTube work to do. As you can maybe hear, this is the shower. This is where you get clean, I suppose. Zoom. If we go around this corner. Ta-da! This is the second hallway. Again, these are all homie rooms, but these aren't renovated. Front section here. There's like these 2 rooms are renovated, and in the rest there's people living. And I think in this nice and yellow back section there's only like 2 or 3 rooms here there where people are living. Oh yeah, back there is like more rooms. And now we go down to the basement. Just keep working.
Just be normal.
Just act natural. You're doing a very good job.
You don't show any of the trash. Oh yeah.
Where is the trash? I just blur it out.
There. Oh,
so this is the trash. So this is the big office, and now we go to the Joshua office. Oh, it's not the Joshua office anymore.
I used to work for a couple of weeks.
So this is the
It's
empty. The empty office.
The empty room, yeah.
Yep, we leave this room. Ta-da! Oh, and this is the quiet office, now with improved sunlight blockage. Bye. This office you probably know the most, because this is where I almost film every game jam ever. So another dark and scary corridor, and it leads into the Netflix room. So this is the room where we have all of the consoles, the big TV, all the sofas, basically for gaming and watching TV. Opposite from the Netflix room we have VR playing room and the VR, I guess, setup room. If we continue down this path. Hello! So this is the second Netflix room. Now we enter the area that is not really renovated as much. And in here we have like an esports room that exactly has room for like 5 people, but none of us use it. And I think there's kids from the town that use it. And opposed to that we have... Hello? So this is the gym. We sometimes use it. This is actually used very often. Ping pong table and gym. Let's go. Welcome to one of the creepy hallways. Like all of these doors on the right are mainly for storage. We barely use this part of the house except... Ta-da! It's so nice and bright. So as you probably guessed, this is the laundry room. We do laundry sometimes. And one really nice addition that I really appreciate is this thing. You kind of know that you're becoming an adult when you get excited about a drying room. But anyway, this is where you can just hang up your stuff and it dries. And if you want it to dry faster, you can, that back there is a fan, you can just turn that on and then it dries really fast. And it's very exciting. This is Joseph and my laundry, by the way. And this is the laundry basket. Has it become apparent that I don't know how to film a house tour video? Oh, by the way, also, sponsored by IKEA. Nah, we're not sponsored. I wish we were. But if we go right here. Stairs, 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 stairs. Oh, stairs, stairs, stairs. If we were to go up here, this is the first floor where more homies live, but I kind of just don't want to go because it's just more closed doors, so it's just not. Which brings us back to this. So yeah, that is basically the house. I think the only thing to do now is just to check if Rasmus has finished that bed. Have you finished the bed? We just need to see if you assembled it or not. Ta-da! Bed. So now that you've seen the place and heard me talk about the place, you might be intrigued, but you still don't know like what to do here. And I had the same problem before coming here and also before getting more into game dev, that I had no idea what it meant to come here. And basically, if you're only paying 400 euros a month and everything else is taken care of, and you're surrounded by other motivated people, you can really focus on getting into game dev, and it allows you the financial freedom of just, yeah, existing and doing what is fun to you, if that makes sense. To give you guys kind of an insight of what my life has been like here. I also filmed what a typical day in my life at Spelkollektivet looks like. Usually I get up in the morning around 7 or 8 and then head down to the office to spend some time alone. I use those 2 to 3 morning hours before everybody else gets up to focus on drawing, language learning, or listening to audiobooks. Afterwards I start working on either client work, company work, or, like on this day, my private stuff. So yeah, that's mainly the mornings. And food. Food is usually served between 12 and 12:30, and there's always a 2-week plan of what is being cooked. Wow, isn't this super exciting? Today I'm really just updating my social media, updating our social media for Du and I, adding a imprint to my website. So very boring stuff. Even if I were to work on client work, I would just like sit here and draw instead of writing text and formatting text. But this is basically what the afternoons look like.
Hey.
However, this afternoon, one of my housemates decided to have a spontaneous portrait drawing session with Joseph. So we also sometimes spend the evenings just playing video games, playing board games, or just watching Netflix together. There's usually always somebody that wants to watch something, so you're in good company. Good night. And that is pretty much my day. But then again, there's also days we don't work at all. When Joseph and me came here, this was our timeout. Spelkollektivet gave us the freedom to reinvent ourselves and build up a business from the ground without any financial pressure. On top of that, it helped me escape the hamster wheel of working for clients 10 to 14 hours every day. And especially the last year, all that extra time that I've managed to free has helped me grow immensely as an artist. I even had some extra time to learn programming.
Wait.
And visual scripting.
Fuck? I'm on stream.
So, why am I making this video? The truth is, I want Spelkollektivet to continue, and for that it needs new people to be interested and to move into the house. I feel it's a great place to be if you just need a break for just 1 month or even 12 months. Spelkollektivet doesn't really have anything on their website where you can see how life here is, because they just don't have the capacity at the moment to do these things. So I just wanted to show the world what it's like to be here and to live here. And if Spelkollektivet might be what you need right now, and if you're interested, I'll be down in the comments answering all your questions, and let's just talk about it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Mitzi, no. You know I can't let you in. Bye, Mitzi.
Hi, my name is Genius, and welcome to Spelkollektivet. I'm the proud owner and majority shareholder. I'm here today to give you a lovely tour of this fine establishment. Come on, let's go! This is the North Wing, one of 3 residential areas here. Let's take a look inside one of the rooms. You're supposed to unlock the door.
Isn't not unlocked? I'm sorry.
Saying sorry isn't gonna unlock the f***. Let's take a look inside one of the rooms. It's a bit bland at the moment, but there's plenty of space to make it your own. And would you look at all these rooms? Laundry. Outside, there's plenty of luscious, spacious grounds, nearby forests, and even a fire pit. Let's take a look.
That's great, but come on back. There's more house to see.
Hey, are you coming?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's go.
Did I mention? We're all athletes.
These balls.
I forgot about that.
So come on down, stay a while. You're gonna love it here. My name is Binkleton, signing out. So, what do you think? Pretty good, huh? You're fired!
Welcome to Spelkollektivet, a co-working and co-living space for game developers around the world. Our aim is to provide an affordable space to eat, sleep, work, and build connections with other game devs from different backgrounds and experiences. Most residents here work in one of the dedicated co-working spaces. We have the loud office for those looking for a more social working environment, and the quiet offices for a more distraction-free environment. All areas come equipped with high-speed internet, desks, and office chairs, with the added bonus of being around other passionate people while they work on their own projects. And if you prefer, there's plenty of space in your own private bedroom. To help foster a collaborative community, we host a weekly stream, the Spelkollektivet Game Developers Conference, an opportunity to showcase what you've been working on and gain valuable feedback on your projects from developers just like yourself. Even though you might work alone, we're still a big team that always has each other's backs. But let's all remember to take some time to relax, have fun, and enjoy yourself. Spelkollektivet encourages a healthy balance of work and play with a number of dedicated spaces for games, board games, movies, and outside activities to participate with your fellow game devs. Speaking of game devs, let's talk to some.
Just settle in.
All right.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Yeah, hi, I'm Matej Jan.
Hello, I'm Marijke. I am Megan McCurdy.
I'm Adam.
I'm Annika.
I'm Michal. I'm Jovi.
I am Belinda.
I am Fio.
I'm a composer from New Zealand.
I'm from Germany and I'm a solo game developer.
I'm from the Philippines and I'm an artist that works in the game industry.
I am an indie game developer.
I'm helping her with her stuff. Also, I help in the house.
I'm from Czech Republic and I'm the developer of Lords and Villains.
I'm from Germany and I'm an art director / UI UX designer for Hotel Magnate.
I come from Slovenia and I am a pixel artist and game developer.
I came here to focus on the development of my game and have more free time and be around the community of indie game developers to get some support from my peers.
I was already working alone on my projects, and I just wanted to be part of a community and be part of a group of people that have similar interests.
I felt a little bit stagnant back at home. I wasn't getting anywhere or meeting a lot of people in the industry, so I just took the plunge.
We both thought about, hey, let's make a trip just where we can do programming. At this time, we didn't know that Spelkollektivet existed. And it was a really nice coincidence that we found this place and could just work on software.
I wanted to experience what life was like living abroad. The idea of living together with other passionate game developers was really interesting to me.
I miss how my life was working from an office when I had a normal game development job, but I still want to work on my game, and so being here is the best of both worlds. I can work on my game and be in an office with other game developers, and it's even better because we also live together, and it's really nice to have like-minded people around you.
I came here because a friend of mine, Annika, she went here before and she told me about this place and was like, "You're sure this is real? Are they not selling you organs or something?" Like, no, it's real. It's really awesome. And then I decided, damn, I'm gonna come here. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And it is.
One of the most surprising to me was how good the food is. And it has great variety, so we have normal and vegetarian options. And I actually became vegetarian while being here because I was thinking about it already before, but I'm too lazy to prepare it. And here somebody does it for you, and it's...
The community is amazing. Here are so many people with totally different experiences, and you can learn from every single one of them something special.
The people, I think. I wasn't expecting to make so many great friendships here, and along with working with those friends, it's been really cool.
I like a lot of things, and it's very hard for me to pick one that would stand out the most. I think above everything it would be the people that I'm surrounded with, because I think they are very like-minded and very accepting and supportive. So I feel like home here, and that's what I like the most about this place.
For more information, check out our website for the latest prices and details, or join us on Discord where you can ask more questions from us directly.
What am I unmuting? But we're always unmuted. Thanks, girl. Do we have sound?
I think the speakers. Are we using the big speakers? No.
No.
No, I think it's plugged in.
No, I just think no. We had sound recently.
It's something with the Firefox.
It's going through the speaker, the external.
No,
All right, hello, welcome to SGDC. Woo! With your dark and mysterious host, James. Show your junk. What? But I like junk better because it could.
It's a word pun.
I wouldn't say it's a pun. Anyway. Oh yeah, and for all our ASMR enthusiasts, hello, welcome.
The rest of the videos like screaming.
Please make it stop. Well, for those of you who don't know what you're tuned into, this is the ASMR Con. So we're here to do ASMR.
Are you starting an OnlyFans or?
I already have one, so feel free to like and subscribe and hit that like button. Or wait, I already said it. Follow, notification bell. First up is Victor. Woo!
Hello everyone. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'm working on and have been working on this week. My name is Victor. I'm part of the Indie Quest, the school here, and we're currently working on a platform fighter. And we decided to do particles and have a lot of cool VFX. And since I have some experience with VFX, I decided that I could do this. So I had to make some decisions on how I was gonna do this. I found one software which was like specifically done or specifically made for doing like pixel art particles. The problem was that it requires money, and I'd have to learn a new software. Another option was to like hand draw and actually animate it myself, but yeah, that requires skill. So I had to do a big boy think, and this big boy think gave me a big boy idea. And I came up with a formula. Software you already know equals good. And I already know After Effects. So I used After Effects the way I usually do, like particle effects, and then just created some offensive pixel ones. So I took and generated normal particle effects and similar, and then added a pixelate filter. Here's a fire and the pixel version. And this one I'm quite proud of. And then the pixel version. It's annoying me that they're not in sync, but... So the way I did these was I used mainly two plugins for After Effects. For those who don't know, After Effects is basically a VFX software. One is a plugin called Saber, which is a free plugin that essentially lets you create a bunch of energy beams and then fuck around with noises to make them look distorted and stuff. And I used another plugin called and I can like control the direction and how much of that length it goes through. The other plugin I used is a plugin called Trapcode Particular, which is a particle plugin that allows me to create a bunch of small spheres that do stuff. I'll take your questions now. Yes, James.
actually fulfilled the criteria that's needed for the art courses we had, because he's technically not doing the raster art himself, or is he? I don't know.
To be considered.
I was like, in my personal preference, I think that, like, that, well, in my opinion, the end goal of actually creating the game is less valuable than you actually learning how to do it.
That's
But
fair.
I guess this is up to you and Matej to figure out if it should
Yeah.
count or not.
I mean, I'm gonna do other art stuff too. This isn't the only thing. This is just easier than drawing. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry.
So, did you consider like clamping the values of the colors before compressing them? Because you could get more like sharper cartoony-esque.
I haven't, but I should definitely look into that. Thank you. That's a good suggestion. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Next one up is Martin Olesen. Let's go. And Hannibal and Konstantin.
Yes.
There's only one. He's the one who wrote it.
Yes, that's fair.
I don't think it's working with the dog. If you make too much noise now.
All right. Yeah, let's go. We made a game jam game the last 3 days. We worked on the game jam, and this is the result. The theme was big, so our game is a game where you're a fish, and you get bigger by swimming. And you have to like avoid obstacles and don't get too big. So I've worked on the artwork for this game mostly, and the effects. All the assets I've made, and Hannibal has been working on the programming, and Martin's also been working on the programming. Hannibal has made the player controller, and Martin has made the enemy movement. And we've also made good effects when you yeah. When you get too big, you die.
Alright, let's see if I can actually... Oh, and you can collect bread.
Yeah, you can collect bread. There's 3 bread pieces in every level. And if you get them all, you get the full bread.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, let's see if I can win it.
And Hannibal has also been working on the music and the sound effects.
Yep. I want to show the ending, but it's quite a hard game. Alright, let's get this. Oh. Okay, you want to try?
I can do it.
Alright.
So I've also worked on the level design, so I've played this level a little bit more than everybody else.
But those piranhas are pretty scary.
Yeah.
They're fast.
And the piranhas get scared if you're too big. Oh, sad. Yeah. You can try it for yourself. It's on itch, and we might also leave it so you can play it on the computer. Try to get the high score.
Yeah. 17?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's it. Any questions?
Yeah.
What was the theme again?
It was big. Yeah.
Just big. So we just went with avoid big.
Yeah. Don't get too big.
Yep.
Does the star actually make you invulnerable?
Yes. The star.
Does it also kill the fish?
No.
It doesn't. We wanted to do that, but we ran out of time, so.
Yeah, and you might have seen it, but there's also a shield that just protects you from one hit. But
yeah.
James?
Why is the main character not animated?
Because I animated the crab instead. And it was more important.
The crab looks great.
Yeah. That is the reason.
Yep. All right.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Tobias.
Hey, nice to be back here. It's been a while. I today have got a presentation for reports and bug reports that we use in Hotel Magnate, our hotel management game. So one important thing for us as indie game devs always is player feedback and to iterate on like stuff that you do. And a way to get player feedback obviously is some kind of Discord. For us, it's the Discord server, it's Steam forums, it's not mails, it's Steam reviews, and most and foremost, and what I'm going to focus on today is our in-game report system. Just to get some numbers and some ideas what this means to us, we've got a Discord server of approximately 2,500 users, where 5 daily users, maybe something like that. On the Steam forums, we've got 205 threads. We got no mails, not that I know of. We've got about 260 Steam reviews and 4,500 in-game reports about what's good, what's bad, and just sometimes just like cool or something. The report system has some big bonuses over the other things. You do get a private message, and in our case, even like some kind of emotion, how the player feels in a certain situation. You might get a mail or Discord to reach back to the people and ask questions like, wow, I've never seen that. Did you do something special, or like, do you have a graphics card at all? You might get screenshots, error logs, and save games, and you can reproduce stuff you might not be able to reproduce from a negative review, which just said like, there are no numbers in the game, shouldn't there be, or something like that. And you've never seen this before. And you can, as I might show you, some kind of first level support with this. And if you do new versions or updates, you get immediate feedback directly from the player base. So how does this look for me? On our end, that's like our Discord server, and you can see there's one channel where we get feedback. Whenever a player sends us an in-game feedback report, we get a message from our God's Cow, which was the literal translation that I looked up for a bug. Or I think this bug is called a God's Cow. Yeah, that's it, right. And here you can see like the link to our Trello board, where if you click on it, wow, you can't see anything on this screen, but here you are, like they are like filled into automatically in the reported column. And you can click on them and see some more information, like this was a bug issue from someone, yeah. And you can click on the screenshot and see how the game looked in the moment when the player sent the report, get error logs and the save game,
Very new, what I've been working on lately is that you also get the save game that the player used to load up the save, which is very interesting, as it's so good to not only get a broken save game, but also get a previous version to try to replicate steps to break the game if it just broke. You see the game version which has been used, maybe the email that has been given, and some information that the player wants to share with you. And all of that is like optional, right? The player can choose to send the screenshot, send error logs, send save games, or just don't do anything. So I hope we're on some kind of safe thing with the privacy thing. Let's continue. So I'm going to show how this works in our game, and if someone needs help. So when we load up the game, the very first thing is some kind of progress or information, and directly here already you can see a little button. If you click on that, you'll get to the report system, and you can find the same in our start menu. You can find the same if you load up a save game, and this is a version of the in-game screen where I did send a report, some kind of issue, and I said like, there's no bug at all, right? It's just fun, right? And please send help. And then you can choose to add screenshots. You can click on it, and you can submit the report by clicking on one of the smileys, which is a very nice thing, because then people need to choose if it's a good thing or a bad thing they want to report. And how do I continue now? Yeah, clicking here. So what happened on our end? We get a new Discord message and a new card, which looks like this one. That's literally what the card that has been created. I can click on the screenshot to see what the state was did look like, and maybe I can already give feedback on like some critical stuff. But if that's not the case, I can open up Unity, and on the top here there is a special thing we've implemented, and if I download the save game, that's just like the number, and it says like _start, so that's when the player did start up his initial load. And then I click on the execute button, and after a few seconds, I'm in the game at the state of the player, and I can debug it. And for that, I just like toggle on gizmos now, and maybe I'm able to see some bugs or issues. That's like the current state, and I've been working on the implementation that the like past save games also get sent with us, and just to quick ideas which could come next, which might never happen because we've got so many other things to do. Just imagine I could answer in players in-game, like they get a pop-up, like there's a new message, and you see your past reports, like too much fun, can't stop playing, and my answer to that would be, thanks for your report, love your hot tub layout, by the way. And yeah, players could like answer again or just delete it. So that's our reports or bug report system. It is very helpful if you ask me. It's I can't think of a better way to get feedback. It's quite easy to implement, and I like if you want to have a closer look and like how this looked in the backend and stuff, I can definitely show you and maybe help you if you want to implement something else. Yeah, and then questions? Yeah, that's it.
Well, a very good reason to have something like this in game is also to reduce the amount of people feel like they need to go to Steam to post a review to get help. So this way, hopefully you can stop them already here, because they feel like if I post it here, I will get the help, so I don't need to post a bad review on the game.
Yeah, and we also use it internally as a like, I've got something here, just like sending the in-game report is so easy and quick instead of like sharing a save game. Yeah, Annika.
I wanted to ask, how many bug reports do you get per day? And also, was there ever a point where you felt like the community was too big for you to handle, and how you dealt with that as a small team?
Yeah, we've got one team member who's often like looking into this column, Trello column, and just like throws out 80%, which is like things we already know, and then at stand-up he just highlights like there are a few interesting new ones and assigns, and moved them around. I think since I made this one, which was at 7 right before dinner, I think we've got 6 new reports since then. And yeah, I think it's not too bad because it's easy to click through. And if you just don't want to see anymore, you don't need to look at it. And you can easily, it's not that you need to look at them, right? And you can easily just delete all past things if you think like, it's not needed right now. But I think we're in our team size, we're able to get a look at the cards. Yeah. Right. There was something I wanted to say. I forgot it.
How many back reports do you get per day? No.
Reports. Yeah, I don't really know. It very much depends. At weekend, much more, and at weekdays, less. You also see pirated versions, because like our version 0.8.0, which was the first one on Steam, we got tons of reports from that one, and it's obviously not anymore. Like no one, you can only get it, and if you buy it on GOG or wherever, maybe you don't refresh and download a new version. But I just assume that those are just pirated, and it's still interesting feedback that I get from those people. Yeah.
Are you not just saying them, oh yeah, I think you need to just upgrade your Steam version, and that's...
Yeah.
Hint. On average, over 30 per day. We base it on since your release.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm.
So this was on release? You already had a version of this right away?
Yeah. Not with all the features. In the backend also did change, and when we implemented a new version, it just uses another version of the backend. So we've got 4 backend systems now. All there's only PHP pages, right? And we've just changed the number at the last number for the PHP file, and so it's nice. Yeah, was very helpful. I would everyone recommend doing this if you're about to publish a game.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Next up are Miley. Let's see if it works first.
Last time it didn't, so we'll see. All right. I've been working late into the nights to get something done on my game. I've shown this little editor that I made I'm working on the graphics engine for my game. I've shown this little test bed for shaders because I'm writing a new shader. So this is running in the browser in 3JS. And 3JS comes up with a built-in physical material that's up to sort of standards that you get with Unity and stuff. And so I've mainly made this so that I can test that my universal one is working the same. It's a little bit better. You can kind of see it. Let's go into a different... I have a little bit of a different... I don't know if you guys can notice. It's a very small change in the diffuse term. Here it's the shading is a little bit more tight at the ends. So, there's small tweaks that you make, but nobody really notices. Anyway. You can play around, switch things up. So this was just to make sure that everything is working as needed before I go and put it into my own editor. It's pretty cool. Here we can also change the materials. This is what I last time just shown as a GIF, and this time, I can show you the interactive version. So this was part 1, making sure that the shader runs and is on par with the standard. And then now I have put it into my own editor. For those of you who have been here for a while, know this. It's called 3D Paint. Is where I draw all my pixel art. It's a tool where you draw in 2D, but you draw with normals. And so because it's drawn in normals, it also creates a 3D geometry. So you can then, for example, change the shading automatically. So you can see here in the background, it generates a 3D model. Obviously, it doesn't have information from most of the backside, and sometimes things are very messy when you look at them in 3D, but they look very normal as you have drawn them. Yeah, so I've been spending most of the time integrating the sky domes in so that I can get this dynamic shading. So here you can see the sky dome. Yeah, and basically as you change the direction here, let's see, you can, yeah, you basically, the procedural sky dome gets updated. I can also see how things work out when I have HDR scenes, but these ones obviously then don't have shadows until I integrate my real-time light mapping, or yeah, real-time light maps that I've shown a few weeks ago, I guess. So yeah, this is where I currently am. I don't have super a lot of time to work on it, so yeah, more next time. Pretty much the current state. All right, any questions? Yes.
Do I remember correctly that 3D Point is something that you completely wrote yourself?
Yes, 3D Paint is my tool for drawing stuff. That yeah, there's a bunch of features in there that I've been working on for years now.
I have a question.
Sure.
Will you do integration with like Unreal, Unity engines, or will this be like a standalone tool for people to?
It's standalone because I want it to just run in the browser. So like it's sort of because of what I was used to before. So my game just runs in the browser. Oops, if I can spell correctly. It's mainly because I want it to be super accessible. I want it to be so that you can easily just log in and do some stuff, learn, quickly check in what's happening. So I actually prefer it to be in the browser. And now with WebGL, there's no... WebGL runs WebGL runs as fast as normal 3D graphics. So the only downsides on performance-wise you get on the JavaScript side, and even that's super fast now these days. So I would love to have Unreal Engine 5 because of their Lumen, real-time global illumination. Mine is not going to be as real-time as theirs, but it also runs in the browser, so trade-offs. All right, thank you very much.
Next up is Marco.
It takes some time to set up. And you might get hurt.
There's a bottle. You might want the juice.
Oh, yeah, you might want to remove that one. Oh.
Make sure you duck in front.
Is there anything on the screen?
Yeah.
Let's put it full screen. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh. I thought. Ah, okay. So, hello and welcome. Something is off. Well, anyway, hello, my name is Marco and I'm going to present my game in VR. So this is my presentation. Let's start. Come on. So this is my name. And because I was trying to get some things running, I'm using a presentation from last time, so this thing doesn't make any sense at all. And this is kind of makes sense, so it's inventory, not tree. So what I did, I made things stack. At first, come here. Ah! And it's two of it. To be honest, I was kind of stuck with inventory for almost 3 weeks. I tried like 3 or 4 different types. And right now I ended up with fanny pack version of inventory. So you put the thing in and it's surprisingly functional, to be honest. And easy to use. You can get the stuff out. You can add stuff. Yeah, come on. Uh-oh, I need to do inventory management. Come on. But there are some bugs. Come on. And it works. Kind. Wow. Axe. That was kind of a failure, but I guess I wanted to show it. Maybe it's funny. And let's go traveling. And well, this axe is kind of funny now. I kind of found an interesting new thing. Come here. Wow! My whole hand is now bigger. But that's not the thing I wanted to show. Oh, no. Ah, well. Oh, I'm kind of really, I don't like fights. So, yeah, come on. Yes. And it was, yes, careful. And go. Yes. So anyway, so as you remember from last time, when I picked 3 effects, 3 might fall. But I mean, that axe itself is kind of static and boring, and there was like another big issue with that. Come on.
Harder!
Yeah! The thing is that what happens if it breaks? And I was trying to implement floppiness to max. First iteration was kind of same function. So I tried to improve it today, and I kind of hit it here. So I managed to make it even worse. Oh, it's so close. In theory, it should have worked, but no. Okay, so where were we? Hook. That 3x rock. Oh yeah. Questions and comments. No, nothing.
I have a question. How far away was he from hitting you in the face?
Ah, that's why you.
So close.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, next one is Raymond.
Hello.
Take splash damage sitting in the front.
No splash damage for my presentation. Don't know if that's good or bad. I don't have a very structured presentation. I have been having a call with a marketing / business person yesterday, and just for a while, been kind of wondering about what we really want to do with the art style for the game I'm working on. And we have been, kind of wondering where to take it. So I kind of made a presentation of like just a bunch of iterations it's gone through, and I'm just gonna like walk through it. This was step 1. This was first prototype, which was in Unreal for some reason. That was a long time ago. Then I worked with an artist. This was not the artist I'm working with now, but yeah, we kind of talked about things we wanted to do. So I made a bunch of different iterations that ended up kind of with this. So this was basically the first iteration of art we were going for. But kind of realized that this was very bright, and we were kind of initially going for something like a post-apocalyptic, darker type of world. So worked again with the same artist and kind of went for another iteration that was a bit darker, and also tried to kind of make the characters stand out a little more. So if the background is a little more dark, characters really popping out. So we focused quite a bit on that with this iteration. Then I decided that instead of a post-apocalyptic world, it should be set in Atlantis. So kind of switched gears quite a bit again. And you can kind of see at the top that I was not super happy that this back part, it's kind of a lot of dead space. And I thought it would be much more interesting if we can kind of see off in the distance, and maybe you have some more idea that this is a bigger world and everything. So so we're kind of pursuing that. And this is where I started to work with Britta, who's my girlfriend, who's working on the art for this. So we've gone through some more iterations, and essentially this is what we have right now. This is not a final thing. You can kind of see in the background, like this is a little bit more worked out, has a little bit more detail. But there's some parts over there, for example, that are not super set up. But this is kind of roughly where we're at right now. That's kind of the background right now. So these have just been a couple of different iterations that we've gone through. And we've also had a bunch of different iterations on the characters. So this is what that started out as. These were very quick sketches that I made. I just wanted to make fun, weird characters. Then I wanted to work them out a little bit more. So I don't know, I was just kind of figuring out what to do with them, adding a little bit more detail and slight changing color. As you can probably tell, the color is very important. It kind of determines like what class they are and whatnot. So I tried to stick with that. Then I tried to, we kind of went back and forth a little bit, but we really wanted to work them out a little bit more, have a little bit more detail, a little bit more, different ways that they acted. So you can see that some characters like this one got quite a different pose, so they were a bit more different than the rest. This one's scared-ish meant to be. And I also realized that I very much tend to draw a lot of guys, and it's very noticeable once you put them all together. So I've been kind of, trying to diversify a little bit, add some more ladies, and also some guys that I thought were kind of boring, change them with some other designs that I had. And then work together with Britta to kind of find some ideas for the style, some kind of how do we color this, what do we want to do with that. So these are some of the ones that so far have been kind of, worked out a little bit more. So this is kind of the characters we have so far. So these are just some iterations that the characters have gone through, which I think is funny. Archer's probably still my favorite because he's weird. Also monsters. Monsters also went through quite a couple of iterations. This was my first sketch. I wanted them to be like weird and you couldn't really understand where they came from and everything. But that was a little bit too much. It made more sense if you could kind of see them physically being somewhere. So this was with the first artist I worked with, and then I kind of tried to make an iteration on it. And I made a very quick sketch of a bunch of other monsters, and one of them I recently got a third artist to work on. I kind of commissioned this, which turned out fucking awesome. And then I rigged it and I did a little bit of animation with it. This is what I learned from the game jam, from animating a tentacle. This is just a bigger, much more difficult to animate tentacle. And that's a little bit where we're at right now. So it's kind of, we've got the background. This is just with like mock-up, putting that monster in there. We've got the background, but it's still very much in progress. This is still not done. We also wanted to have a little bit more of a, everything is being destroyed. It's a little bit darker setting. And we've got a cool monster and everything. We've got a couple of characters that starting to get kind of happy with. But just not sure if it all works to create an interesting, appealing art style. So I guess I've just been a little bit insecure about this. And we want to take a little bit of a step back and figure out how to make stronger style, ? So yeah, well, this is basically the last slide. So we're just kind of figuring out, like taking a step back, what do we want to do? Do we want to try, and so far I've been thinking the world is super gloomy and dark and everything, but maybe it's actually more interesting if the world is not that gloomy and is more happy and you see it being destroyed, and then that is why it is a sad kind of situation. Really want to bring this theme of sacrifice, which you do a lot in the gameplay and stuff, through as well. And a lot of people are like, I feel like people react to it like, okay, but are they really Atlanteans? Because they look not like what you might see as Atlanteans. So I've just kind of been thinking about that. So these are just random thoughts. And I think that's my presentation. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
Regarding art style, obviously it's one of the biggest difficulties questions because it puts you in different markets and things. The quirkiness that you have is amazing, and I think that is something you can consider as a character in your art style as well, because that can bite itself with other stuff. And I think when you go to the next slide, like maybe a comic style would be very great. And I'm not sure, do you know Behance?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if...
It's for game artists, there's something like ArtStation, but there's Behance, which is for illustrators, graphic designers, UI UX designers, and I always go there when I'm like, this is a whole different world of inspirations when you want to go away from the games that you've already seen and explore art styles from people who create comics and graphics and don't even have games in the back, and just doodle and create arts that are very different from what you are usually seeing. And that's where I always go when I'm like, want to get very, very inspired and see something that I probably didn't see in games yet before, because it's not games.
Cool.
And I can totally recommend you going there. So it's
Yeah.
not really a question, but a recommendation.
No, that's great. I don't know if I need to repeat it, if the stream could hear it or anything. But yeah, the recommendation was look at Behance. It's an interesting resource to look at other kind of illustrations.
And it's from Adobe. You have to know if you like that or not, but yeah.
To work with them at some point, in some ways, I guess. Any other questions and or other recommendations for stuff? I do want to say I'm quite curious also if any of the artists in the house just have other thoughts and like, hey, maybe you can do this or look at that or whatever. Like that is awesome. So I will look at that because we're just figuring out where we want to take the art. Yes.
Less a question, more of a follow-up. If you decide upon your art style eventually, where you want to finalize your kind of look, you talked about whether they looked Atlantean enough or something, maybe something like cohesive, like kind of iconography or something to tie all of the units together. So if I don't know if they're regular citizens or some of them are in the military or some of them, whether there are some emblems or iconography that can be used to tie them together as being a people. Or if there's something like that might be useful. Sure.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. When we went through the, I don't know which stage, we've got through a number of stages. I think when we went through this stage, we had made a couple of different outfits and just kind of get some thoughts of how, like the one in the bottom right, for example, is meant to be militaristic. She is as well. And then like he's supposed to be a little more fancy, not necessarily military. And he's supposed to be kind of average Joe. His name is Joe. That's why he's average Joe. But yeah, but I'm not sure if that's worked out well enough to actually do over so many different characters. So that's cool. Yep.
So it's good that you're looking at the emotion that you want to convey. Like that's actually the first step, and like that should be really like strongly looked upon. And also like who is your target audience?
Mhm.
If it's yourself, then it's like extra simple in a way that you just go on and look up stuff that this looks really cool, and so you if things look really cool, just put them in one place and take some things from that. So that's one way to do it. Yeah, I have so many comments we can talk about.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you so much.
Next up is Lina.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, I'm gonna show some more Broken Alliance art. Okay, so, yeah, Broken Alliance, fantasy turn-based strategy game that I'm working on. Currently our concept artist is just finalizing the side views of the Paradise characters, and these are just sketches still that he's gonna clean up. And yeah, there are some cute, fluffy characters. And we're making for the Forge faction, we're making a battle background, so this is the ground for that. And also there are some smaller adventure map items that are going to be there, like some portals for different factions, and a site that you can visit for luck, and some upgrades. And I'm currently working on still making the screenshots, but I wanted like, okay, let's have a cursor in the screenshot as well, even if it's gonna be a mock-up. I really love the Warcraft 2 cursors for like different factions. They have like different hands in there. So I looked into a lot of the Heroes of Might and Magic stuff. They have like so many different icons they're gonna have there, but I was really set on having different hands for the different factions. So I figured out here like what kind of cursors we need actually for the game. So I looked up some hands for each faction. Forge would have this kind of a mechanical kind of arm. Phobos would have some creepy witch hands. Anchorage is kind of like just human, but I was thinking of making it a bit more interesting with tattoos or something like that. And Paradise could have more like animal kind of claw things. So these are the things that I made. Yep. And yeah, also grabbing one. Basically, if you hover over something, then it will just do this grabbing motion. And yeah, this is how it's just random background from the game. This is how big they will be on the screen. So this is like a full screen image of that. Of course, you won't have four of them at the same time, but whatever faction you are playing as, you will have that one. So yeah. Thanks. Any questions?
No, but they're beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Marika. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you had a chance to do any readability tests of the cursors on various backgrounds, and if you run into any conflicts or something?
No, I actually didn't. But the thing is, at first I wanted to have everything without outlines in the game. Actually, like totally everything. Even like added a lot of more like contrast
on the cursors and everything. But now I decided like, hey, let's make some of the UI elements to have the outline, so it's not that bad. I didn't want to use like full black on them. They still have like dark purple kind of outlines in there, but I'm quite sure that it will be quite readable, thanks for the outlines and everything else not having any. So we'll see. If there's a problem, I'll fix it, but currently I'm quite confident about this. Yeah.
You could also.
Oh.
Whoa!
Yes. Fight whoever gets rid.
You could also use the opposite of the net underneath the cursor, so do a little shadow on it if you are willing to do soft shadows to pop it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I could try that as well.
Ah, and I can't remember what game it was, but in one game where outline changed color depending on the background, so it was always the opposite color.
Okay. Yeah, that could be a thing as well. I was actually at first thinking of having the outline in the faction color, but that's gonna be so difficult because if you have like 8 different faction colors or something, then it's gonna maybe not. It's just some stupid ideas I sometimes like to put in, so we'll see about that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Alright, next up is Andrew.
I will copy my stuff over this time. Yeah, so for those who don't know, I am working on a turn-based RPG, and why is that not full screening? There we go. And this week I've been doing a little bit of environment art for my RPG. So last time I showed you guys the turn-based combat where you switch between the characters and the abilities would change for each character. And because I'd gotten a bunch of technical stuff done, I felt like I should do a little bit of an art pass. And I started looking into building my first like world area. So I sketched up a paper map from like a basic layout of the first area. And moved on to looking at some reference images. I was looking heavily at things like the Underdark in Dungeons and Dragons, little bits of like glowing mushrooms and stuff like Avatar, and yeah, anything to do with caves really. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if my whole overworld map was still set underground? So my idea so far is to have a very large underground cave area. And I thought, well, what can I do quickly to start up and sketch stuff? So I started doing some little textures where I thought the surfaces would be in caves. So I made like a smoother rock on the ground, like some weird twisty rocks that I saw based on some like pores in mushroom, like around like water seeping around mushrooms in some of the fantasy sketches, and some cliffs and things. And I then decided I'd bring that into the game engine, Unity, and start painting it on an example terrain to see how they blend together. And I've been sort of playing back and forth between the scale of them on the map. And this is the mock-up that I have so far based on the map. And if I put them side by side, you can see that I've started placing little mushroom props that I've started also recently. These are some of the model sketches I've been doing.
they're not textured yet. I've spent today unwrapping most of them. Yeah, just been modeling cliffs, mushrooms, and I started working on my first shader for the game, which is a water shader. If I just Alt-tab back. So I've done this sort of like distortion effect over with the water, and then a blend between like a flat color for the fade, so it gets murkier as the water goes down. And yeah, that's me for this week. Any questions? Raymond?
How do you navigate? Do you navigate through it as like a 3D?
Yeah. So at the moment, I haven't got that working in the game, but my idea is to have you have 4 characters in your party, so I want to have 4 little chibi versions of your character wandering around one after the other, and in that map there will be places like a kind of caricatured town, and when you hit the caricatured town, it will take you into the town area, and that will be with your characters in full size again.
And any battles that you're going to will be like you hitting another enemy in the overworld, and then
Yeah, exactly. It will send you into one of those kind of battles. The battle map is like top down-ish, and then the towns are all sort of head on, face forward. Anyone else? Cool. Thank you.
Next up, Yannick.
Okay. Don't need this. Probably don't need this. But we do need this. Yep. Yeah, so this is my presentation title. I just wanted to show you the game I'm currently working at, or let's say my current project is more or less becoming more fame on TikTok, because once I'm more famous on TikTok, I get more people to play my games, and therefore might be able to earn money so I can buy food. So far it looks quite okay. I have almost 160k followers, so that worked well on this end. But I came up with a nice idea to increase that number, and this was making games. Especially, I wanted to make a game about the famous TikToker, and so I asked my community, who is it about which TikToker shall I make a game, and they went for this guy, which is one of Germany's most famous TikTokers. He's a lawyer, he has 5 million followers, so probably he's Germany's most famous lawyer, I guess. I don't know, but it was like, okay, so I gotta make a game about this guy. And this is how it currently looks. I decided to go for a pixel art, platformer, fighting type of game, and you gonna start at the school. So the basic story of the game is you are this lawyer, but the judge released all the criminals you previously sent to jail because the judge is evil, and now it's your task to bring them back. And my community really wanted me as the first enemy to add a teacher, because in Germany teachers like to say to the kids that they aren't allowed to go to bathroom during classes, and this is illegal, so they need to be punished for this. Yeah, and now I would like to show you the game. The problem with this is, how can I go? Yeah, no.
It's the up arrow.
Oh, the up arrow. Why? Ah, no, this is the desktop. Is there the? Wait, here we go. Oh wait.
All right. So I. Yeah. I mean, it didn't work on desktop either. I tried it. I can show you. Yeah, I tried it before, and there is today I added the Prelux background, and for some reason this doesn't work on this PC. I can show you. Maybe someone knows the solution, but I made the video, so you can still see how it should look like. But yeah, this is super like. I don't know why it does this, but yeah, you can throw books and. But I will show you a video how the game actually looks like.
That's a bug.
Let's report it.
All right, so I'm gonna show you just a little bit of the gameplay. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, this is a pixel art game. You can run around, jump around. They added some weird physics with the swing, and you can also defy gravity, because why not? And yeah, we have this teacher enemy who runs at you and tries to hit you, and you can throw books at them and hit them back, or just yeah, this happens. And now he's dead. And yeah, just this is the start of the first level. This is like the schoolyard where you can run around, and afterwards you will get into the school. And I will probably make 3 different levels. And in the end, you're gonna fight the judge. And yeah, this is yeah, the level is over at this point. And that's what I've got so far. Any questions?
It's an art question. Is there a reason why everything is so scaled, like compared to the Anwalt and the people? The trees are very tiny.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, is it just something you mock up, or is it just because you want it to be, or it's just like?
This is just what I came up with first, and I thought this looks kind of interesting, so I left it like this. But I might gonna change it because yeah, the trees are somewhat tiny. I mean, especially if you look at this one. This one has a decent size, I guess. This one is super tiny. But on the other hand, if you look at real scale, there are trees like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah. And how do you put them to jail? Do you just throw books at them until they fall, and then, or is it
Yeah,
someone cleans up after you?
there will be different types of attacks, and I also plan to make an animation that once you defeated them, they lay down on the ground, and then jail appears and they disappear out of the scene. So you can see they are imprisoned. Yeah.
Are you gonna make a vertical aspect ratio so that it better fits TikTok to market it?
Yeah, that's actually a thing. I always make side scroller games, and this is bad for TikTok because you can't really put it in. But yeah, I just zoom in and you don't see all of the level, and then it's okay. Or sometimes I zoom out, and you have black borders. But it's not a big issue. James.
I was thinking, if you actually want to teach people in the spirit of the lawyer, make Witcher-like attacks, where it's like if you use the right paragraphs on the right type of enemies, you actually do more damage because, oh, you're breaking paragraph, whatever.
That's exactly what I thought about when making the game, but I didn't come up with a nice idea because it's going to be a mobile game, how to switch between different modes fast and conveniently. So for now, this is just in the back of my mind. But yeah, this was actually the first idea I had when making the game because it would be awesome.
Maybe, I don't know if you want to answer this live, but were you actually a fan of this liar, or did you not know about them much at all?
I knew him before, but I was never a big fan, and it makes interesting content. Let's say it like this. No, it's interesting content, but I'm not too much into it, and it's basically mostly for
younger people, because he's talking a lot about rights of younger people and what they are allowed at certain ages and in school and everything. So I'm not really his target audience. So.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Last up, Andreas. I just imagine your viewership is just like a bunch of people who wet themselves in class.
What?
Because they wanted you to have a teacher as the first enemy because they're having issues with peeing themselves in class.
Right, yeah. Might be true.
So this is going to be short, I think. Last time I talked about some problems with the crafting system, and I'm on my way of solving it. I made the decisions. There's some implementation left before it's interesting to show. So in the meantime, when I was thinking about how to show the crafting system, I realized that the explanation of the cards in this game have always just been a bit offhand, thrown in there sometimes. And I wanted to make sure, if I had a presentation to spare, to just talk about them, the basics. But I can never find the arrow keys. So this week, it's about what I just said. So here are the current cards. These are the four. The grouping of four here to the left are the core cards. So the problems is, you can call it the environment, the challenges, whatever comes at you in the basic class. And here are the counters that you have, that you counter these with, and that's something you've seen every time I play. I keep dragging these onto each other and they disappear, and that's the whole point of the game, to make stuff disappear. The crafting materials are gonna come up next time. These are just some examples. It's interesting because the first two are specific and more powerful crafting ingredients. They're gonna be a lot of them. They're not gonna look like this. But it's worth to point out that the first one is the destruction element. The second one is of the serene element, and I'll explain all that next time. But as you can see, the symbols on the core cards are matching the symbols on the ingredient cards. And the last one is the basic material or generic nature material. Again, that's sort of the central point of this new crafting system, is that you're going to have these. Just imagine them to be a shopping bag full of crap that you can use for everything. And the other two, the elemental cards, are going to be, you're going to use those tactically, so to speak, to beef up the cards in different ways and to make very specific rare cards according to actual recipes. And here's an example. I call these the stray cards, the first one you see there, the special event. And now I've changed the graphic on its counter. It used to be a blue little bird. I just wanted to be clear what's going on. That in one case it's getting lost in the forest. The other one is I can find my way, but it's basically a spell. I should also add that most of these graphics are, as usual, just placeholder, and I keep replacing the placeholders because I don't know, something's wrong with me, and no, it just helps with my type of game dev. I usually need to change out the visuals in order to think or feel what the next step should be. The last one was a cute little dragon last time. I just wanted to make sure that it was understood that it's actually an artifact, that you have a belt on it and you sort of connect the artifact, I don't know, like a buckle or something, somewhere there. Since you don't play them, you play other cards on them, they stay until you get zeroed, i.e. one of your stats go to zero. So yeah, so they're gonna be even rarer, probably the rarest type of card, but very useful. They are the ones that depends on basically what you feed them. You feed an artifact, and so you can get unlimited use out of it. It's like a spell that you can just reuse over and over. Those are these cards I have for now. There's going to be a lot of more crafting materials. There's going to be a lot of more events and counters to events, and maybe a handful of artifacts. But the left ones, the core ones, are as they are, so to speak. There will only be 4 of these core cards. And now you just need to commit this to memory for next time, so I don't have to repeat myself. Having said that, any questions? Raymond?
You're talking about the symbols on the cards that match each other? You're talking about the symbols at the bottom or the top? Those dots or flashes?
Yes.
Why are they, if I'm understanding it right, some of them, for the problems and the counters, they're all at the bottom, but for the crafting materials, they're sometimes also at the top. Is that so they can have both?
Yes, exactly. It's not a great, I don't know. When I tried putting the blue one, the serene one, on top of the core cards, when you play the game and were dragging them onto each other, it threw me off. I kind of felt distracted. I can try it when I have testers and see what they feel. But yes, the trouble I got into was because of this. The generic crafting card needed to be both at once. But if anyone can walk up to me if they have any suggestions on this, but it's probably easier to do that once we're playing. Hopefully you will be joining in.
Yeah.
I hope it's not too distracting at this point. Okay.
No, just curious.
Cool. Anyone else? Thank you.
Yes, let's indeed take some time and stop here. Thank you for joining us on stream. We don't want you in our